I met this franchise 10 years ago. I told there was nothing left. No hope. No hope for a reboot to save itself. I met this sixth installment with this blank, pale, emotionless script and the worst production, the Weinstein's production. I spent 8 years trying to enjoy it, and another 2 to try to erase it from my innocent brain, because what I realized, what was living behind that DVD case, was purely and simply shit. Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, a film released in 1989 when the slasher film genre was coming to a decline. The film had a rushed production and came out to, well, little to no fanfare. One of the cut scenes was an original opening featuring a character by the name of Dr. Death, who resurrects Michael by tattooing a thorn onto his wrist. This was later replaced by some old hermit being killed, so now in the final film, the thorn still exists. The other infamous random decision in the movie was the inclusion of a character by the name of the Man in Black, played by Don Shanks, who played Michael Myers in Halloween 5. The character served no purpose, and even the writers didn't know who he was. The Man in Black would serve as just some deus ex machina. He busts Michael Myers out of prison, who is still wearing his mask, but it was up for the writers to decide who he was.
Halloween 5, which still did pretty well, but it wasn't as successful as 4 at the box office. I think everyone sort of took a step back and wanted to reassess where things were. And
not wanting to make the same mistake twice, Mustafa Akkad decided the Halloween series needed a short break. This break, however, would be prolonged due to Halloween creator John Carpenter coming back to the series wanting to gain the rights. He teamed up with New Line Cinema. Mustafa Akkad ended up teaming up with the Weinsteins. According to the man himself, Mustafa Akkad, John Carpenter's original idea for Halloween 6 was Michael Myers in outer fucking space! The gods were on our side as John Carpenter lost, and Mustafa Akkad ended up continuing the production of Halloween 6 with the Weinsteins.
I think in 6 we were up against, or more so Dan maybe, was up against answering questions, and we often have that problem when we do sequels. So Dan had, who is this man in black? What is this tattoo?
Written by Phil Rosenberg in 1993, Halloween 666, The Origin, the original script failed to impress anybody. With an insane Dr. Loomis, Michael Myers being homeless, and yes, I am not fucking kidding, VR. Of course, this is not the film that would be made. Even famed film director, film writer, and feat enthusiast Quentin Tarantino was supposedly offered the job. He declined. The job was eventually handed to Daniel Farrens, a huge Halloween fan, who actually wrote an entire Bible of the series and handed it to Mustafa Akkad. Daniel Farrens had just a few rules. It had to have Michael Myers, it had to be scary, and it had to follow the story of Halloween 5.
In a way that with the whole cult thing was something that maybe was a little ahead of its time because it was kind of going into this paranormal, supernatural kind of horrors that we would see later on. But for the classic slasher film, it might not have been, in retrospect, the best fit.
The Cult of Thorn, a mysterious group who believes that one person must sacrifice their entire family to save the others. They chose one person, a child by the name of Michael Myers. Ah yes, the mysterious shape, someone who killed with no reason, now kills because of some fucking runes or some shit, I don't even know.
That appears from time to time on Halloween night. Whenever it appears, he appears.
With a script written, casting soon began. Returning from the starring role in Halloween 4, George Wilbur plays Michael Myers. In one of his first major roles, Paul Rudd stars as Tommy Doyle, the traumatized kid that Laurie Strode babysitted in the original Halloween.
Michael's work isn't done in Haddonfield. And soon, very soon, he'll come home to kill again. But this time I'll be ready.
Marianne Higgins also stars as Kara Strode, one of the many cousins of Laurie Strode. According to her, the Weinsteins did not like her one bit, as they felt like her nose was too pronounced and her chin was too pointy. Okay. Just goes to show that they were always horrible pieces of shit. Controversy around the casting would begin with the character of Jamie Lloyd, played by Danielle Harris in the other Halloween films. In my personal opinion, she was a big part on why 4 and 5 worked. So of course she wasn't brought back due to money disputes. The part of Jamie Lloyd was recasted with J.C. Brandy. She's fine, but... The cast and crew ready? Mustafa Akkad ready as ever. Halloween 6 would soon begin filming. But what they would not know is that the cursed production will continue.
The legend of the producer's cut. It's funny in a way that it's called that, but it's fittingly so because we finished the entire film, mixed it, and we did have screenings actually, which is quite normal. You have market research screenings and you sort of poll the audience and get some feedback, and it's a normal process that we usually do. And at that point you take the steps to adjust if you feel you need to, and we've done them on most of the films. I suppose it's called that because it was what we were fighting for. Yes, we wanted to make some changes to it, but that was the version that the producers held to, studio and director.
After initial production ended on Halloween 6, the Weinsteins held screenings of the film with a mostly 14-year-old boy audience. The results came back extremely negative. This gave the Weinsteins full control as they took over the production and made their own changes. Lots of Dr. Loomis's scenes were cut as they found Donald Pleasance to be boring. Okay, Michael Myers was recast and the entire third act was changed. The original ending, which is present in the producer's cut, had Michael Myers, the eternal slasher, being stopped by damn rocks!
What the fuck?
The ending that it was changed to is not much better, whereas Spazzy Paul Rudd beats the shit out of Michael Myers with a lead pipe and he bleeds green. Okay. With a movie that couldn't even decide on a title, of course this type of shit would happen. Ha! Soon. The original cut of the film, now called the producer's cut, was only available as a low-quality bootleg for a great number of years. A Blu-ray of the movie was later on released. The theatrical cut of Halloween 6, the one approved by the Weinsteins, would release in 1995, well, with some of the worst reactions to the franchise up to this point. Many critics and fans hated its choppy editing, confusing ending, and overall just deviation from the previous films. However, time has been kind to Halloween 6, as some fans love the producer's cut and says it's one of the best of the franchise. Yeah, notice how I said some. In my personal opinion, well, I hope no one gets offended by it, Halloween 6 is definitely my least favorite of the franchise. My strong dislike of the film definitely comes from its convoluted, unnecessary explanation to why Michael Myers kills and why he's so unkillable. If I'm to be completely honest, I don't like either cut. I think I hate the producer's cut a bit more because I forgot to tell y'all guys something. Jamie Lloyd, keep in mind who was 15 and Michael Myers' niece, ends up giving birth to a little baby boy. You're probably wondering, well, who's the father? Well, the father is, Michael Myers! Yes, because, being a serial killer who also murders dogs, that wasn't enough. No, that wasn't enough. That had to make him 1, a pedophile, 2, a rapist, 3, a condoner of incest. That's real fucking nice. Wow. I'm not here to knock the people who made the movie, besides the Weinsteins, like the cast and crew, and I'm not here to knock anyone that actually enjoys the movie. I'm just saying all that stuff really bothers me. See, for me, I prefer my serial killers not being murderous pedophiles. Well, except for Freddy, but I don't know, it doesn't really vibe well with Michael Myers. I prefer him to be a shape of a person. No emotion, no reasoning to what he does. Just pure evil. Now, you're probably wondering, is there stuff I like about the movie? Well, I really do like the score, which is done by the same guy who did 2 through 5, I think. I really love Michael Myers' look. I love the mask, the jumpsuit, the burnt hands. And, I don't know, a few scenes were pretty cool. The kills in the theatrical cut are awesome. But besides that, nothing much. So, in conclusion, I personally think it's the worst Halloween movie, but I think it's the one with the most interesting production. Now, of course, I didn't include everything in this video as I kind of wanted to be short, so if you want to read more about this movie, I would suggest picking up the book, Taking Shape. This is what I used as the main source for this, and James A. Janice did a video on the producer's cut, which is actually pretty fascinating, so what I would suggest is watch the movie with your own view, come to your own conclusion. You don't have to listen to me or anybody else. I was just wanting to share what I know about this movie and my reactions to it. Was revisiting the trauma worth it? No, not really. But at least I got a decent video out of it. But now, I must rid myself of this curse.
Why me crank it, why me roll? Why me crank that soldier boy?